Hamas announced Friday that it is willing to release all Israeli hostages, alive or dead, and to enter mediated negotiations on President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan. The announcement came just days after Trump unveiled a sweeping 20-point proposal at the White House, alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, presenting it as the best and perhaps last chance to end the war in Gaza. At its core, Hamas's statement is both a concession and a calculated move. The group declared its readiness to immediately enter into negotiations through the mediators to discuss the details of this agreement, while also stressing it would agree to transfer Gaza's administration to a nonpartisan Palestinian technocratic body, provided such an arrangement is supported by national consensus and regional powers. Trump, however, has framed his plan in starkly ultimatum-driven terms. He gave Hamas until 6 p.m. Sunday to accept a deal or face consequences. If this last-chance agreement is not reached, all hell, like no one has ever seen before, will break out against Hamas, he warned in a fiery Truth Social post. The language was vintage Trump, blunt, confrontational, and meant to pressure Hamas, while signaling to Israel and his domestic base that Washington's patience has limits. Hamas, in turn, acknowledged the ceasefire framework but insisted that broader issues, including Palestinian rights and Gaza's long-term future, cannot be settled in isolation. Instead, the group said these must be decided within a comprehensive national framework aligned with international law. In other words, Hamas is signaling it will not surrender its political agenda, even if it is forced to concede militarily. The plan itself calls for an immediate halt to Israel's offensive once both parties agree, followed by the release of all hostages within 72 hours. It also pledges that no Palestinian will be forced to leave Gaza and that those displaced will retain the right to return. Yet the promise of eventual Palestinian statehood is framed only as a possibility, not a guarantee, a strategic ambiguity that has long characterized U.S.-brokered proposals. The reactions have exposed the deep divides. The Palestinian Authority cautiously praised Trump for his sincere and tireless efforts to end the war, while committing to reforms that could open the door to statehood. Major Arab powers, including Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, and Turkey, issued a rare joint endorsement of Trump's initiative, calling it sincere. European states, some of which have recently recognized Palestinian statehood, also lent their support. But Netanyahu remained defiant. In a video posted after his U.S. visit, he reiterated his opposition to Palestinian statehood. He said, instead of Hamas isolating us, we turned the tables and isolated Hamas, framing Trump's proposal less as a path to compromise and more as an opportunity to strengthen Israel's hand. On the battlefield, Israel's military pressed deeper into Gaza City, where famine and destruction have drawn mounting global outrage. The ongoing assault underscores the gap between diplomatic rhetoric and military reality. For Trump, the deadline-driven approach is designed to force movement. For Hamas, signaling openness may be less about peace and more about buying time in the face of overwhelming pressure. The stakes are enormous. If Hamas accepts, Trump could claim a rare breakthrough in one of the world's most intractable conflicts, reshaping his legacy on the global stage. If it refuses, Israel will likely escalate with Washington's blessing, plunging Gaza into an even darker chapter. Either way, the next 48 hours will test whether Trump's high-pressure gamble produces peace or simply accelerates the spiral of war.